So I'd like to move on now to the words represented by N to Z. So we'll start with N. And the letter N represents the word and, which is one of the most common words that you will use in shorthand. So you should have learned the letters first before doing the words. So I would drill the letters N to Z 50 or 60 times each. Check them, make sure that you know them. Drill any that made you hesitate or that you didn't, or that you got wrong. And then you can take a break and then learn the words. And again, you would drill each word about 50 or 60 times. So the letter N is used to represent the word and. The letter I beg your pardon, the letter N then under the line is used for begin, began, or begun. So we have begun, we began, please begin. Okay, so if you were to write, for example, Tom and John have begun to work. Begun is part of that sentence, but it's hanging from the line. Now later when we've started to form words, I can show you how to write these words in full, because if you find that confusing, then you don't need to use it, but it is handy, it is very quick. So just remember that is still part of this sentence here, even though it's hanging below the line. Okay, so it's begin, began, and begun, and it's the letter N. So the letter O, the full letter O isn't used, but indicator O, written in the T position, gives you the word of. Now, of, O-F, not off, O-F-F. And the reason is, if you were to write O-F, well, you could write it on the line. I suppose you could write O-F like that, but that actually gives you the word of. So the word of, to distinguish them, is written up here, because then you could write OF, and that would be just a different outline. It's in a different position, but we drop the F and we just write the O. So it's O in the T position, which is where we write the T. Okay, so it's up there. Now the letter P stands for 3 words, and it gives you pence, it gives you page, and it gives you police. So pence, page, or police is represented by just the letter P. Context is everything in shorthand, and context, well, it's not everything, but it's important, and it will tell you which one it is. Now, Q, which is written more or less like that, is question, and it's also equal. So obviously both those letters, those words contain a Q, so that's where you get that from. Now, R is very simply the word are, the verb are, like we are, they are. S, which is smaller than a full O, and it's written anti-clockwise, okay, it's written that way. S is south and southern. T, now remember T is just a little line in the T position up there, okay? It's called the T position because that's where we write T, and that is the word to. Now it's not TWO, it's not TOO, meaning always, it's, or also I should say, it's just TO. U, and remember shorthand U is a little cup, so it's down, round, and straight up. We don't do any more than that, just that is the word U. Oh, sorry, put an extra bit of my U there. V is very. Have. Village. And versus. So I want to make sure I don't leave any out, because there are 4 of them for this one. Okay, so V is very, have, village, versus. Now, if you write V underneath the line, as we did with the with N for begin, began, begun, if you write it underneath the line like this, just hanging from the line like that, it means evidence, or evident. If this is too slow for you, if you're saying, oh, I should hurry up, just increase the speed on your video and that'll speed it up. So if you want to say we have enough evidence, you'd say we have enough evidence. So even though we've started here, you're still going to write it down below the line because it's hanging from the line to show that it's evidence. If you wrote it up here, so if you said we have, I could group we have, but I'm not going to do that now. We have enough. Please don't try to write the word enough. Don't do that yet. And then evidence up there, it would mean the V was part of the sentence up here. It's not part of this one, so you have to write it like that. Okay, so W is just we. Remember, W is longer than an O and it's more shallow than a U. Okay, so bowl, saucer, cup. So W is just we. X, again, write this one first, down the way to the line, and then this one. Okay. X is, I think I got that the wrong way around. X is accident. No, I didn't. Sorry, I confused myself there. So this one, X, that one first, and then you do that one. Because if you ever had to add an R, then you want to be able to go up like that. Okay, so X, again, is accident. What's next? Y. Forget my alphabet. Y, remember, is like a shorthand U with a tail on it. Now, don't call it U because it looks like a longhand U, but it's the shorthand Y, so call it Y. Y is your. And the letter Z doesn't stand for anything unless you wanted to, in which case you can make up a word for Z.